Why central bank controls short-term rates but struggle with long-term rates. Central bank controls interest rates but not all interest rates. Short-term, yes. Long-term, not so easy. Short-term rates are usually directly influenced by the central bank. Banks borrow and lend overnight at these policy rates. Since the central bank is the one usually supplying liquidity to the system, it can move these rates almost immediately. But long-term bond yields, like example 10-year government bond yields, are determined by inflation expectations, future growth expectations, fiscal deficit, government borrowing, global capital flows. But if markets believe inflation would rise, then long-term yields would increase even if central bank cut rates. Long-term yields reflect what the market thinks about the future looking like. And you can't directly order market to change its expectations. For example, a 10-year yield is basically what returns would an investor demand for locking in money for a period of 10 years. That includes expected inflation, risk premium, and policy credibility. So if investors lose confidence, the yield would start rising regardless of the short-term policy. Now here is something very interesting called as yield curve control. This is when a central bank comes and says that we would not allow the 10-year bond interest rates to go beyond X percentage, and to enforce that, it buys unlimited government bond. This has been done previously by many of the countries globally. It works, but only if market believes that central bank has infinite credibility and balance sheet capacity. Otherwise, defending that levels can sometimes be very expensive. And the yield curve is where policy meets expectations. And that's why many of you must have seen that bond market starts to move before even the central banks do. Again, these are just my thoughts. Let me know what do you think in comment section, and if you found this insightful, do share this with your friends and family and follow me here Parekh for more such content.